Hello, everybody, and welcome on into Mounties Midweek. I'm Drew Patrick. On this episode, we talk about both basketball teams' opening tournaments, and we also start to close the door on fall athletic seasons as soccer and cross country finished up their seasons, and field hockey collected a caveat of postseason awards. Plus, we officially put a bow on that athletic season as we begin the play of the fall bracket. The men's basketball team had two matches in Raleigh, North Carolina to start their season over the weekend. The Mounties' first matchup was against an overpowering nationally ranked West Liberty squad. The Hilltoppers got going early and packed on the points to beat the Mountaineers by a score of 129-79. Mansfield's newcomers Trevor English and Christian Simmons led the way with 22 and 19 points respectively. The Mounties returned to action the following day as they took on St. Augustine. It was a back and forth battle, and Mansfield came back from being down 10 points to get the victory by a score of 100-95. It is the first time the Mountaineers have hit triple digits since 2017, and the first time they've scored 100 points in regulation since 2015. Christian Simmons led the way once again with 26 points. Mansfield returns to action Wednesday as they welcome non-conference foe Frostburg State. The Mountaineer women took part in a tournament in Indiana, Pennsylvania. Their first matchup was against West Virginia Wesleyan. It was a tough battle. Mansfield made a valiant comeback, but it fell short, and Wesleyan wins the game by a score of 71-61. Captains Paige Whitfield and Kira Merritt led the way with 19 points and 12 points respectively. They had a game the following day as they took on Davis and Elkins College. Freshman Jasmine Hilton had a career game in her second career game with 20 points on the day, which led the way, and Mansfield gets the victory by a score of 73-70. The Mountaineer women's basketball team returns to action Friday as they welcome Frostburg State into Decker Gymnasium. The cross-country teams took part in the NCAA Atlantic Regional Championships in Lock Haven this past Saturday. Starting on the ladies' side, Lindsay Payne led the way, finishing 71st with a 6K time of 23:37. And by the way, she had the flu all week and still ran that time. Better than I could ever hope to do. The rest of the Mountaineer women's runners finished in a pack from 139th to 145th place. On the men's side of things, it was the 10K race, and Quincy Amabile completes his final career collegiate cross-country race and finishes it with an all-region performance, finishing in 20th with a 32:29 10K time. Freshmen Christian Tanner and Kevin Heeman finished 79th and 83rd, and Travis Keith and Jordan Holmes finished their collegiate career, finishing 109th and 115th. The women's soccer team had their final match of the season in Lock Haven Saturday night. The Bald Eagles got off to an early 2-goal lead, and Mansfield battled back, cutting the lead on Kay McNichols' 5th goal of the season, but the Mounties do fall short in this game with a final score of 2-1. The Mountaineer field hockey squad collected some postseason accolades following a breakthrough 12-7 record and a PSAC playoff appearance. Brittany Hansroth collected the PSAC Coach of the Year award. This is her second time in just her 5th season at the helm for the Mounties that she was named Coach of the Year. Goalkeeper Brittany Ryan was named first-team All-PSAC goalkeeper, and in the last 2 years, Ryan was selected on the second-team All-PSAC, and she finishes her career as one of the best goalkeepers in program history. She ranks first in the conference in saves and 10th in the conference in saves per game and had 6 shutouts on the year. Seniors Dana Evans and Madison Walensky were named second team All-PSAC, and Larissa Motz and Megan Griffin were on the third team All-PSAC, making this the most all-conference selections by the Mounties since also earning 5 in 2012. Congratulations to the Mountaineer Field Hockey Stars on their accomplishments. It's a quiet week for the Mountaineers, but let's take a look at what is coming up.
Welcome to Forever, man. Let's go. Come on. It's forever. No surrender. Yeah. You know that this right here forever. Go. And there will be no surrender.
Do not go anywhere. Sports Talk is on the other side.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
UPMC is a visionary hospital, cutting-edge research, all of the exciting things out on the edge of medicine.
There's a challenge every day, and there's the potential to help. When given the opportunity to make a difference in someone's life, that's a tremendous feeling.
UPMC's interest in bringing the best there is in the science and research and bringing that bench side to the bedside is what makes a huge difference.
Life-changing medicine is not only medical treatment or surgical treatment, but giving patients hope.
Welcome back here to Mounties Midweek. We have Quincy Amabile joining us here at the desk to talk about the NCAA Atlantic Regional Cross Country Meet this past weekend. Quincy, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Drew.
So let's talk about that, an all-region performance. What were the things that worked early on in that race for you?
Well, I would say early on, even before the race started, was at the PSAC meet. We had a couple injuries, which I guess was kind of affecting our mentality going into it. But coming into the regionals, I think everyone was a little bit more healthy, which definitely helped before the race even started, knowing that the team would be right there and be up there with me. So I think that helped a lot with the confidence before the race. And I would say during the race, it was just kind of feeding off the energy of the other guys on my team.
This is more of a flatter course. I don't want to say completely flatter course than Bloomsburg, but there's no hospital loop at Lock Haven. So how does that change the race mentality or the race strategy on a pretty flat course?
I guess the race mentality or strategy doesn't really change as much. You kind of try and stay in a certain place and then try and maintain that. I would just say it makes the race strategy easier to execute because there's just less variables that can happen on a hill. And on that flat course, it was easier to eliminate some of those variables. I would say the only thing that was a little different was that the course was extremely muddy and slippery, so that was kind of an obstacle that replaced the hills.
So what do you have to do to, I guess, prepare for that, or is the right word, or adjust mid-race during the muddy? The women's race before your race, I'm sure, did not help the muddy factor of that. But what do you have to do to adjust mid-race to the mud, or is there a major adjustment?
Yeah, I would say we weren't expecting it to be muddy, but talking to the other guys, they kind of had the same strategy as well, which is just kind of avoid the muddiest parts, but still sometimes it's unavoidable that you have to go through the mud, but try and find the happy medium between making a super long turn around the outside and also going through the muddiest part. So just finding the best path.
So speaking of going on the outside, you saying that reminded me, at the very beginning of the race, you guys were in box 2, which is not ideal from where you guys were. You had almost the longest point A to point B, but you went around the outside, kind of got jammed up in the middle there at the start. Why did you end up having to go around the outside and get back up to position?
I think it was kind of just our box spot, and everyone else went out super fast. So I think the whole team kind of got caught up behind everyone else. So that was the only reason why that happened.
So the race, you finished an all-region performance for the second straight year. How did that feel?
Oh, it was a great feeling, honestly. I'm very thankful to God, to all of my coaches, to all of the team, the women's and the men's team, for just helping me throughout my whole time here. I mean, I couldn't do it without all of them, for sure.
And you are a senior. You guys had your little senior day ceremony after the race. I'm sure a bittersweet moment for you for this to be your final cross-country race. What are your biggest takeaways from your time here at Mansfield?
Oh, I would say definitely from my time here at Mansfield would just be being extremely thankful for all the people that were here to support me, because I just think it's a great place. So that's my biggest takeaway, is that you can't do it yourself and you need that support from other people. And that was definitely there for me. So I'm extremely thankful for that from just all the people here at Mansfield. It made it the best.
and speaking of that people and the passing the torch kind of moment, seeing the freshmen, well, maybe not seeing because you had just finished your race, but looking and seeing where the freshmen performed and how they finished very solidly, what confidence does that give you to know that you're leaving this torch for them to continue to carry?
Oh yeah, they're awesome. They're the best. It's honestly, it's a great feeling. I'm so happy that they came here. I mean, they're just awesome. I hope that I know Travis and Jordan and I, as the seniors, try to be a good example for them, and we have no doubts that they'll carry on and have a great career and be great people overall.
So one thing that was very fun and a little bizarre from the region is, so everyone has a line of tents. There's a line of themed tents. We went all out and had an actual camping tent. Whose idea was this? Whose tent was it? And why?
So at the beginning of the season, we were talking about going on a team camping trip. Okay. So apparently Coach Roll thought that gave him the idea of buying a tent. So he sent a message in our group chat that said, should I buy this tent? And it was a huge, super family tent. And we're like, oh man, he's gonna come camping with us. But it turns out he wasn't even planning on using it for camping. He wanted to use it at the meets. And now we have to take a half an hour every time when we arrive to set up this dang tent. And it's very hard to set up. But once it's up, it's great for everyone to look at.
We definitely stood out. That's 100% true.
So now we have our own house, and we all sit inside, and it's nice and warm.
Yeah, I'm sure. It was amazing to see.
Yeah,
God love.
That was Coach Roll's idea. He's one of a kind.
One of a kind, absolutely. Well, Quincy, you're one of a kind too. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Mounties Midweek continues after this. Don't go anywhere.
UPMC is a visionary hospital, cutting-edge research, all of the exciting things out on the edge of medicine.
There's a challenge every day, and there's the potential to help. When given the opportunity to make a difference in someone's life, that's a tremendous feeling.
UPMC's interest in bringing the best there is in the science and research and bringing that bench side to the bedside is what makes a huge difference.
Life-changing medicine is not only medical treatment or surgical treatment, but giving patients hope.
From court to court and lane to lane under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
Welcome back here to Mounties Midweek. Joining us at the desk are some new faces here from the Mansfield men's basketball team, Trevor English and Christian Simmons. Thank you both so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the fact that this is your first year here. Not your first year with college basketball, but your first year here at Mansfield. What has been the differences thus far in your time here at Mansfield?
Well, for me, first time coming here, the first day I stepped on campus, we just been working extremely hard. In my past school, we never had that.
For me, I would say family, because here, especially with my teammates, it's more of a bigger type of family. We work really hard day in and day out, and it's just feel like we compete every day as one instead of individuals. So I would say the big thing is family for us.
And Christian, you specifically, it's your first year here, and you're captain this year. So what has that been like to jump right into that captain role here?
Well, it means a lot coming from my teammates and from my coaching staff. For me, it's just I was a captain at my old school, so I understand the role, and it's just with me being a first year here, I just wanted to come uplift my teammates, work hard, push everybody as hard as I'm pushing every single day, and so we could be playoff contenders and we could change the culture here at Mansfield.
So you talk about that, trying to change the culture. So what is the step early on in the season, before we get into this weekend, the early practices, the start? What was the start to try and changing that culture?
In my opinion, is the working hard every single day. We have coaches that push us to the limit every single day. So just being focused, I would say more, because especially Coach Turner, he pushes you to for mental breakness, and if you're not 100% locked in, it's easy to give up. So you really have to be focused 100% and be willing to, how you want to say it, be 100% all in for the culture here.
Yeah, definitely be 100% all in. I just think from the top, from Coach John to the bottom, to the managers, just everybody has a positive attitude, about everything. You know what I mean? That everybody come to work, even the managers there 15, 20 minutes early, preparing for practice. Just everybody's all in.
Well, the season started, and boy, oh boy, did you guys not get an easy start to this season with one of the best teams in the country in West Liberty as the first opponent. Obviously, that game got away, but what did you guys learn about yourselves in that game against a very top echelon opponent?
Well, for me, I feel being that we have so many new players, I feel we thought we were at the top already, and that game really humbled us 100%. We know we have all the time to be playoff contenders this year, but when you come to play a team that's already nationally ranked and every year they're getting 30 wins, you really have to be humble playing an opponent like that, and you have to work hard every day getting ready for a team like that, because if you don't, you see what happens.
I mean, we definitely learned a lot. I feel like it brought us together. If anything, it brought us more together. We know we did wrong. You know what I'm saying? We got practice today. We go in there, we work on what we did wrong, and just come back.
I mean, the next day you guys got a little bit of redemption in a back and forth, hard fought game. Last year, Mansfield lost a lot of those types of close games there at the end just because of some breakdowns. Able to get the victory there. Obviously, we'll start with just the basics. Like, how did it feel to get that first win of the season under the belt?
Well, for us, it felt good because we did it it wasn't just for us, it was for our coach because our assistant coach, Coach Turner, his mother has cancer and breast cancer, and we actually had these shirts that was made for us. And like, for us, it was just, the purpose was bigger than basketball. And she was in the crowd watching us, so we really wanted to go get the win for her.
It was definitely more than just a game for us, and like, we just had so much support from families. My family was there. I know Jazz family was there. Coach Seth family was there. It was just like a good atmosphere. We knew we was gonna win the whole time, but you know, what I mean, it just a game of runs, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mentioned that game of runs there towards the end of the game. You guys had to fight back to get in it. It went back and forth. What do you guys have to do in that final stretch to get in the right headspace and just focus and almost in a way ignore what the score says and just keep playing, just keep trying to score? What goes through your head on those final minutes?
For us, I would have to say defense, because we have a lot of scores on our team. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people can put the ball in basket, but at times, sometimes our defense break down. So that's what we more focus on, because if you stop an opponent, they won't be able to score, so they won't be able to win the game. So defense really wins championships.
Yeah, definitely defense. I know, like, at the end of that Shaw game, Jameer had a steal, so just defense on that end. We focus on that end more than offensive end, because offense gonna come. We got too much talent on the offensive end.
So let's shift gears now to this week. Another non-conference opponent, but you guys get to play here in front of the home crowd. What do you expect that atmosphere to be like?
I think we expect it to be a nice crowd. It's going to be great playing in front of the Mountie madness. Everybody like coming out from the town and the students to be there to support us, and we plan on getting the win so we could end the week 2-1.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. The atmosphere is going to be great. I feel like looking forward to playing in front of all our peers. And trying to put on a show.
So what is the strategy for this Frostburg team? I know you guys, as of recording this, probably haven't had a lot of time to go in depth on, but what are the things you guys are focused on and your focuses have been this season that'll help you in that game?
Well, not for just Frost, for any team that we play, our focuses are to limit our turnovers, to play hard on defense, communicate at all times, and to beat people in the rebounding battle. Because if you do all three of those, you win the game, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. Like Coach John always tells us, our focus is ourselves first. You know what I mean? Because depending on what we do, controls the game. So just worry about what we got to do, run our sets, and we should come out with the win.
And I have to say one thing, Trevor, it's really nice to see a tall individual on this Mansfield basketball team. What, in terms of, obviously you guys wouldn't know hands-on last year some of the things that they did here, but what have you noticed in talking with some of the returners? What are the major changes that have happened in strategy this year that have worked for you guys?
Well, from my point of view, they said they didn't have any bigs last year. So me coming in, I knew what it was. I knew my Coach John and Coach Seth told me my role. But like, I wouldn't be able to do anything I would be able to do without the guards. The guards really get me involved. You know what I'm saying? John, Ty, Christian, everybody just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like a lot of pressure's off me. All I gotta do is worry about like rebounding and stuff like that. So they said they didn't have big, so everybody embraced me. And I felt good, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm playing the best basketball I ever played, so everything's good.
And another thing I would say that's a little different from last year is the depth. Like, we can go deep into our bench. Like, literally, everybody plays. So it don't matter if it's 2 minutes, if it's 30 minutes. Like, everybody plays and everybody everybody part is crucial. Like I remember like in our game last game, Riley Collins didn't play a lot, but when he got in, he helped us 100% to win that game with his intensity and his defense. Like without him at the end when Trevor had to come out due to a couple fouls, like he kept everything up, and which helped us like battle back and still get the win.
All right, guys. Well, congratulations on a great weekend, and thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you so much.
Mounties Midweek rolls on after this. Do not go anywhere.
From court to court and lane to lane under the lights or under the sun. No one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
Life-changing medicine is not only medical treatment or surgical treatment, but giving patients hope.
UPMC brings so much to the table. They're just a comprehensive visionary system.
UPMC is innovative and always on the cutting edge of technology.
Defining not only healthcare, but health.
Its expertise, its focus on patients and what is best for patients.
As UPMC, we're able to elevate the standard of care. Just a wonderful opportunity.
Welcome back here to Mounties Midweek. Let's talk women's basketball now, as we have joining us at the desk Paige Whitfield and Jasmine Hilton. Thank you both so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
So let's talk about this year as a whole. It started, your new face here, Jazz, Paige. There's a lot of new faces with this team. What has that transition been like for you, and what has it been like incorporating all these new faces?
Well, since I've been here, obviously this is my third year, I think this has been the easiest year to transition. We have a great group of girls, and I just think we go together really well, and it felt really good over this past weekend as well.
And what was it like to join this group and to become part of this Mansfield family?
Well, definitely with how our team is looking, I'm playing a post, which is usually not actually my position. I'm a guard. So trying to transition from that to being with something that I'm usually not comfortable with, but now I'm comfortable with. You know, it's kind of, I'm getting used to it. But, you know, with the help of my teammates, they've really made me, you know, getting better with trying to get with that.
So let's talk about this first weekend. The first matchup, it was a close game, back and forth. It did slip away from you guys, but what did you take from that first game and really that first chance to get true game action with each other?
I wouldn't say I was surprised, but even that team, there was a rumor going around saying the other team was expecting to just blow us out instantly. And just knowing that we had that lead right away and then being in it the entire game was just honestly just like a thrill for us. Especially for like the people that have been here even past years, like we don't have that experience very often. So it was really good to know that like we're going to have a chance and we are going to win a lot more games than last year.
Oh yeah, definitely. taking from the mistakes that we did in the first game really taught us what we needed to do in the second game. And, worked harder and we pushed through and got the win.
So yeah, let's talk about that win. You talked about it. Game 2, it's at the end of the game, Mansfield's a victor.
Yeah.
First win. First of all, how does it feel to get that first win under your belt so early in the season?
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And second, so what were the keys to that game? What made it so successful? Jasmine, you went off in that game with a 20-point performance. Welcome to college basketball.
Thank you.
But what were some of the things that worked and led to that victory?
So before the game, we were in the locker room, and definitely, even with game 1, one of our biggest keys were to box out. Our defense was definitely a major key in winning the game. And, just pushing through, working as a team, getting shots, and definitely helped.
Yeah, I completely agree with her.
So you guys, obviously, Paige, you were here last year, and some things didn't work for the team, and there were some struggles this year, or last year. This year, and looking at it, and you said there was that first team thought they were just going to blow you out. How do you use that then? How do you guys use that as not only motivation, but a way to try and get under the skin of the opposing team?
I think that's with our energy too. We all came out just knowing that we wanted that win, and even the freshmen, they didn't have that experience last year, so they just knew we were just going to come in and win. That's all we want to do. So that communication for sure. The teamwork was incredible. It was our chemistry it's been longer than just a couple months.
I agree.
And obviously when the preseason rankings come out, do you guys pay attention to that at all for the season? Or do you just stay level-headed, focus on what you're going to do? Does it creep into your head at all where the perception of Mansfield basketball is?
No, I kind of like it because then when we ever do have that opportunity that we win, it's well, now we're going to just prove you wrong.
Yeah, definitely just stay humble. So.
Absolutely. And looking forward now, you guys have another non-conference game, and it's going to be here at home. What is that going to be like? What do you expect the atmosphere to be like for that first game here at Mansfield?
Hopefully that same energy. I know with this last win, we're really going to be high-headed. We're going to want to grab that other win. So, and hopefully everyone comes out and watches.
Yeah, of course.
So what can you take? Obviously, you got the win early in this year. What do you take from that game, and what can you take from the early practices to really to still come into the next games confident, but not over? And I don't think that will be an issue with you guys to go in overconfident, but what do you have to do to keep up that confidence and keep that momentum?
Definitely consistency, working together. We do well with finding out what the other team is good at, so then we can counter that, and then just keep running our plays the way we are and score.
I agree.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you, Drew.
And Mounties Midweek rolls on after this. Do not go anywhere.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
UPMC is a visionary hospital, cutting-edge research, all of the exciting things out on the edge of medicine.
There's a challenge every day, and there's the potential to help. When given the opportunity to make a difference in someone's life, that's a tremendous feeling.
UPMC's interest in bringing the best there is in the science and research and bringing that bench side to the bedside is what makes a huge difference.
Life-changing medicine is not only medical treatment or surgical treatment, but giving patients hope.
Welcome back here to Mounties Midweek. Let's continue now to talk women's basketball as we have assistant head coach Ashley Williams here at the desk. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Of course.
So let's talk about the fact that you came here to Mansfield.
Right.
What were some of the things that drew you to this job?
So I was really looking for a full-time assistant position. It wasn't too far from home, but I just knew I really wanted to stick with basketball just to see what I want to do. So the last couple years I was a graduate assistant. And then so while I was doing that, I got my master's. So I was just kind of thinking, like, which direction do I want to go? But just my passion is basketball. So until I can't really, in a sense, like, I want to do basketball, it's just going to be harder to get back into. So that's kind of my thought. And yeah.
What would you define your coaching style as? Because every coach I talk to has a different style of the way they try to work with their team.
Yeah.
With this group, of course, coming off of a frustrating season, the previous season, with a lot of new faces, just like yourself, what is your coaching strategy with this group?
So, like I said, I was coaching a couple years before this. In the first year of my coaching career, we went 0-25. So, I mean, it was kind of similar to like what we're kind of going into right now. And I just knew, like, you really need to build relationships with the girls. Like, you need to build that trust so they feel comfortable to come to you. And just myself being able, kind of like the age difference, just being able to relate to them and kind of be their friend, but know, like, still have that respect factor. So that's just really helped me kind of, I guess, build a relationship with them and know that they can come to me. And then kind of more on the basketball style, I like playing fast, but I don't like to speed things up. I like to be patient and everything, but like when you can go fast, I like to go fast. So like sometimes you'll probably hear me on the side, I'll be like, go, go, go. But yeah, I like to play fast. I like to play disciplined defense and kind of sneaky sometimes too. So
I like that. Going back to what you said about relationships too, and I don't want this to sound insensitive, I guess is the word I'm looking for here, but obviously with a women's sport, having a female on the coaching staff certainly helps in terms of building that relationships and relating. How do you feel that has been a benefit to the girls early on in this season to have a female voice as well as their head coach?
Yeah, and I know that Coach Witt was kind of looking for that, again, the being able to relate. And I've kind of helped him a little bit, like we've kind of talked, and because he wants to build that relationship as well. Yep. But yeah, I definitely think it has helped. You know, I have a couple of the girls coming in and they just feel like, again, that they can talk to me, which is great. Like, that's exactly what I want. I want to be there for them. But yeah, it's definitely benefited because just being able to relate. I don't know exactly how else to describe it, but it's definitely helped, I think.
You went through the college thing. You know how to walk them through it.
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
Getting to the basketball, this first week happened. You guys came in. Let's talk about that first game. It was a close battle. It did slip away from you guys. But what are your biggest takeaways from really that first time this group got a chance to play meaningful basketball together?
Right. So the first game, I mean, it's kind of just a blur right now just because I'm already at the other game of winning. But so the first game, I thought we just had great effort. We never gave up. We were always right there. Like you said, it kind of just slipped away. But we just kind of went into it afterwards and was like, you know what, we have another game tomorrow. Like, we can't dwell on this. We need to keep our heads up. And I thought we did a great job at that. But just in general, in game, the effort was great. We did what we wanted to do. We just, besides boxing out and rebounding, but I mean, that's going to happen we're a little small. So other than that, I was really proud of the girls.
And then you mentioned the very next day, turning that into a victory against Davis and Elkins. First of all, seeing this team get that first win so early on in the year, what did you see from the girls during that game that led to the win?
I think that we were having fun. Like, you could see the girls were out there, they were smiling, they were talking to each other, and like offense and defense, and that's what we need, communication. So that was huge. But yeah, just having fun and getting those steals and it was a fun game, and it kind of got down a little bit there when they started coming back, but we kind of persevered and we pushed through, and so I just saw a lot of energy, and that was great.
And of course, one of the freshmen. Welcome to college basketball, Jasmine Hilton, with 20 points in her second game.
It was awesome. She played awesome.
I mean, when you have that production from a freshman in their first weekend, how much confidence does that give you guys as a coaching staff for the future and the tough PSAC coming up?
It's huge, especially we only have a couple posts, and they're really stepping up, both of them. But, Jazz has kind of had that goal where it's like, all right, I'm trying to get average 10 rebounds a game, which is a great goal for her. Like, she can jump out of the gym. Of course, we want her to box out as well. But, I mean, she's just very athletic, and that's what we need in this conference. So.
And obviously, you weren't here last year, but to see the players who were returning, coming off that frustrating year, able to get a win this early and really lead a group of new people in terms of your captains and Paige and Kira, how much have they been a help to changing the culture, so to speak, of this program?
Yeah, I thought they have done a great job. Coming in, it was a little different. They have to gain that respect from everybody still, but their roles have been huge. Paige has come in, and she's just kind of been like a leader and a director, and she's helping during practice, just being like, hey, like, this is like the next thing or whatever it may be. And Kira just being the point guard, and she's just being more vocal. And that's what we need from her. She needs to step out on that floor, and she needs to be the director on that floor. So she's stepping up in that aspect as well.
So let's look forward to this week. It's a non-conference affair against Frostburg State, but it's here in the friendly confines of Decker Gymnasium. How much of a benefit do you think that's going to be for this team that has a lot of young players to play at home?
Well, I mean, just in general, playing at home is great, getting that atmosphere, especially like in our smaller gym, which I love. Like, you can pack that and it just feels loud. So that's going to be huge. So I hope everyone comes. But yeah, just being there and having all their friends, and hopefully their families can make it. But it's just a great feeling to play at home. And so, especially for the freshmen, first time, and just getting, like I said, that atmosphere, it's going to be great.
And I don't know if you've had a long time to really scout Frostburg thus far in the week as we record this on a Monday. But what do you expect, and what are the goals from our side of things in that game against Frostburg?
So I'm just hoping that we come out and we're able to transition when we can. We are able to come out fresh, ready in our presses, in all of our defenses that we have. But if we play the way that we know how to play, and the way we've been practicing and everything like that, like, we just need to play us. And I mean, that's, I feel like, is the biggest scout, right? Like, you can know exactly what they're going to do. But every single thing, it comes down to, jumping to the ball or being in help side. Like, just like them, like, they could know our plays, but if we execute and we cut when we need to, or we just see an opening, I think that's it, right? Just playing basketball, but still executing and just being ready for what we know how to do and what we can do.
All right, well, Ashley, thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah, of course, no problem.
Mounties Midweek rolls on after this. Do not go anywhere.
UPMC is a visionary hospital, cutting-edge research, all of the exciting things out on the edge of medicine.
There's a challenge every day, and there's the potential to help. When given the opportunity to make a difference in someone's life, that's a tremendous feeling.
UPMC's interest in bringing the best there is in the science and research and bringing that bench side to the bedside is what makes a huge difference.
Life-changing medicine is not only medical treatment or surgical treatment, but giving patients hope.
From court to court and lane to lane under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
It is now time for Play of the Fall. We took all 8 Play of the Week winners that you guys cast on Twitter at Mountie All Access, and we compiled them into a random bracket and are now going to let you decide which one of these plays will reign supreme and become Play of the Fall. Our first matchup, Christy Byer. This was a shootout game. It was a crucial game on the season. It was a game that was 0-0 going into the shootout, and that's the goal and an even better celebration. That is against Lindsay Payne and her all-PSAC performance at the PSAC Championships, finishing 12th with a 23-12 6K time. Vote for which one of these plays is moving on to the second round. Our second matchup is a battle between teammates. The first play is Terrence Quaker. He gets us on the kickoff return and goodbye, 70 yards up the gut for the touchdown. That play is against this touchdown from the first game of the year. Long pass to John Rogers, and that's one miss, that's another miss into the end zone, 45 yards. Which one of these incredible touchdowns is moving on into round number 2? You vote and you decide. Our third matchup is between DJ McLean of the football team and Olivia Wagner of the field hockey team. Let's start with DJ. This pass to the corner of the end zone, one-handed toe tapping it in for the score. That play is against this one, Olivia Wagner. It's a crucial game to try and clinch playoffs. That one goes in. It's a game-winning playoff clinching goal for Olivia Wagner. Which one of these plays moves on? You vote, you decide. Our fourth and final matchup here in the first round is between soccer and field hockey. Corinne Reinhardt, this goal coming off a corner kick against Millersville, puts it high into the net. That's her first career goal. That one is against this goal from Megan Griffin. Goes into the middle of the field, just cranks this one into the back of the cage. Which one of these is the final play moving on in Play of the Fall? And we will have round number 2 next week. So make sure you go vote. Voting is on Twitter at Mountie All Access. And we will see which play will ultimately be called the Play of the Fall. That's going to do it for this show this week, folks. To stay up to date on all things Mountaineer athletics, head over to GoMounties.com. We will see you next week.